Welcome to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. Now here's your host, Tim McMahon.
Hello there.
Hey, it's Tim. It's Friday. What does that mean? Well, it means it's time for our weekly news roundup. Here on Less Than 12 Parsecs, once a week, every Friday, I give you all the headlines that grabbed my attention earlier in the week, and then I share a thought or opinion about each one. Hey, if you're looking for in-depth analysis and thought, well, you've come to the wrong place. This is Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy. We ain't got time for that. The big news of the week was that Episode 8 has a title. It is The Last Jedi. Hey, what do I think about that? Well, you know what? I've already done a whole episode about the title, so scroll back in my feed, find it, hear my thoughts, and then tell me what you think. Speaking of The Last Jedi, director Rian Johnson was asked this week what 3 films have influenced him the most on Episode 8. He mentioned 12 O'Clock High, The Three Outlaw Samurai, and To Catch a Thief. He liked 12 O'Clock High for the feel and look of the aerial combat, as well as for the dynamic between the pilots, and The Three Samurai for the feel of the sword fighting and the general sense of pulpy fun. And To Catch a Thief was a great film to rewatch for the romantic scale and grandeur. You know, I've seen all 3 of these films, but I'm going to rewatch them this weekend with a whole new set of eyes. Speaking of new, 2 new books were announced this week. Anytime they announce a new book, it's great news for me because I'm a Star Wars book collector. My Jedi library is 2,000 tomes and growing. The 2 titles announced were Guardian of the Whills by Greg Rucka and Rebel Rising by Beth Revis, or Revis. I'm so bad with names. Guardian of the Whills is a story about Chirrut Imwe and Baze Malbus, and Rebel Rising is a story about Jyn Erso. These are young adult novels, and you know what? They did some books like this before The Force Awakens came out, filling in some background on Luke, Han, and Leia. They were a lot of fun, quick reads, and they gave some interesting tidbits about the Star Wars universe. I look forward to these books for all the same reasons. And speaking of looking forward to, I'm looking forward to the Oscars this year because Rogue One received 2 Oscar nominations, one for sound mixing and one for visual effects. Back in my day, anytime a film with work by ILM was nominated for visual effects, you knew it was going to win. Yeah, today's world's a little bit different. Everyone's doing awesome effects, but still, you know what? I'm going to put my money on Rogue One winning for visual effects. Why? Because of the Grand Moff Tarkin stuff. Sure, some people say it's a little too much Uncanny Valley, but you know what? It pushed the envelope, and I think the Academy will appreciate that. But hey, Academy, you know what? I got a bone to pick with you. Where was Rogue One's nomination for Best Picture? Come on, we all know it was the best film of the year. In other news, Star Wars Rebels is on hiatus. They're going on break until February 18th. Hey man, what the heck? It seems like Rebels just came back from a break over the Christmas holidays. We got 4 episodes and they're out. I don't quite understand why. I'm sure it has something to do with sweeps weeks and all that stuff, but you know what? I'm a little disappointed. But you know what is not disappointing? This year, the prestigious Young Adult Library Service Association recognized a few of the Star Wars comics by Marvel Comics as some of the best graphic novels released in the past year. They specifically highlighted Darth Vader Volume 1 and 2, Kanan Volume 1, and Lando. To hear my thoughts on these titles, check out the Expanded Comic Verse, another podcast I do with our pal Alan Voivod from Star Wars 7x7. In fact, we'll be talking about Darth Vader in our next episode, coming soon. And speaking of coming soon, Zen Studios announced that they will be releasing a new Star Wars pinball table designed for Rogue One. Sadly, it's not a real table, this is a video game table. I love pinball. I love the touch and feel of an old-fashioned mechanical table, but a video game pinball game comes in a close second. Look for the Rogue One table to be available on PS3, PS4, PS Vita, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Windows 10, and Steam and Mac on January 31st, and then on iOS, Google Play, and Amazon on February 2nd. And finally, just this week, Her Universe has come back to the internet. Now, I'm not into ladies' fashion, but I think Her Universe is pretty darn awesome. For those of you who don't know what it is, it was a company started by Ashley Eckstein, who does the voice of Ahsoka Tano. She created a company that sells clothing for the geek girl. At the end of last year, Her Universe became a division of Hot Topic, and around that time, they shut down heruniverse.com for renovations, but the site is back up with a whole new bunch of cool stuff. If you've got a lady in your life who loves Star Wars, hey, go there and buy her something awesome. All right, so those were the headlines this week that grabbed my attention. Did I miss anything that you saw and thought was noteworthy? Well, let me know. Send me an email at 12parsekspodcast@gmail.com or connect with me on any of my social media accounts. You can find all the links on my website, 12parsekspodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Utini!
You've been listening to Less Than 12 Parsecs, the fastest Star Wars podcast in the galaxy, part of the expanded Fandomverse network of shows. For links and show notes, visit our website, 12ParsecPodcast.com. Follow Less Than 12 Parsecs on Twitter at 12parpod, on Instagram at 12ParsecPodcast, on Tumblr at 12ParsecPodcast, and find us on Facebook as well. And please let us know what you think. Email us at 12ParsecPodcast@gmail.com.
P.S. Don't forget, you can win a handcrafted sleep mask that's styled after Kanan's mask, the one he wears in Rebels. It was handcrafted by Ash from the Skyhoppers podcast, and it can be yours when you simply post a sleep-themed Star Wars photo on Twitter. Use the hashtag SleepyStarWars and tag at 12parpod and at SWSkyhoppers. What's a sleep-themed photo? Well, let's see your favorite Star Wars pajamas, or your bed with the Star Wars sheets, pillows, and blankets. Or maybe it's a photo of you snuggled up with your favorite Star Wars plush toy in a bedtime storybook, or anything you can come up with. You have until February 28th to enter, then we'll pull a name from random. Good luck and may the Force be with you.